There you go, Susan, all the way to the top. Okay, now look to the right of the platform. And those are our lights we're going to show. And the lights mean whether it's a good or a bad. So white lights are good, red is bad. They good lift for Becky Jensen. 3 white lights and another state record. Alicia's up next at 95 kilos. That's 209 pounds. She's she's in the Teen 3 division, which is 18 to 19 years old.
Ooh, Alicia has some sparkles in her hair today. That's fun.
We love that. She missed her first and went up and got her second, so she's partying. Jenna Jensen is up next. Emmy, you're on deck. Doke, you're 3 out. Jess Rosario, you're 4 out.
All right, we got Jenna coming out here with her second attempt. Chose to go up 7.5 kilograms, which is a pretty great call for typically for a second attempt. Let's see that ponytail whip right there. Wow, that was wholly deep.
Wow. Bounced off of her ankles on that one.
Yeah.
I really appreciate how she matches the ribbon in her hair to the singlet, to the knee sleeve, to the shoes. And I think her belt even has some red on it, if I saw correctly. Yep. That inner lining of the SBD belt. Clean.
Reese is 3 out. Claire is 4 out. Alexis 5. Jenny 6.
All right, we got Emmy coming out here next. This is a state record attempt. 220 pounds.
This is a big squat, especially considering that this is a youth lifter, age 12 to 13.
Wow.
Fast squat for Emmy at 100 kilos. Good lift, 3 white lights.
So one thing that I think we're going to see a lot today is, especially since people are going to be trying to get toward nationals, they're going to be making a little bit more conservative attempts to get totals as opposed to completely blowing themselves out of the water.
Truthfully, for a lot of people today, it's going to be a total. That's going to be the end goal, a total that qualifies you to compete at the national meet.
And that's part of the strategy, you know. If you think that you have a shot to get there, be conservative, save your energy, and peak for the next one better.
There you go, Doug. Good finish.
So on that one right there, if you were able to see his side a little bit, he actually rocked a little bit back and forth.
He was wobbling a little bit
at the very top. So I think our spotters and loaders are going to probably want to keep an eye on that one when he gets back to the very top on his third attempt. Just because that wobble looked like it was hip shifting forward, the bar shifting back, that could lead to a position where the bar falls off of his back, creating an unsafe condition.
His knees also weren't locked, so that's why they were also waiting to give him the command. And what would cause upward issues is his knees were buckling underneath him there a little bit. So one thing that's really important as an athlete, and ultimately one of your responsibilities as a competitive athlete, is reading the rule book for the federation that you're competing in. Rule books change every year. Sometimes they change multiple times a year. But ultimately, it's important. We'll see what the judges say there. Yeah, so one judge caught her on that. It looked like to me she might not have, but so what you guys will notice with USAPLs, they actually specify the reason they were disqualified with a flag color. So red, blue, and yellow are the colors that you get to see. Reese coming out here with 253 pounds.
That's the one thing that you're going to notice a lot of these athletes take care with, especially if they're being coached, is being careful with their pick and with their walkout, because a good squat starts with a good pick and a solid unrag. Good fight on that one.
Probably a little bit left in the tank there for a third, so should be good to go. We got Claire Harris coming out here, 363 pounds for Claire.
Again, she's in the Teen 3 category, which is 18 to 19. The categories go up to Teen 3 in the teen divisions, which is 18 to 19, and then juniors is 20 to 23. Open is 24 to 34. Sorry, 24 to 39. And then Masters goes 40 and up. We've had lifters up to 83 years old in our meets.
You can tell this walkout is very practiced by how much time she's taking to set up before she even takes the bar out of the rack.
I mean, you have a full minute from the time that you get the bar is ready command to you get the start command. Or actually unrack command.
Nope. You have to have
Is
the
it
start
okay?
command within
Start
the
command
in the minute.
on this one.
So that is one of the key differences. So our gym does host several different federation meets. USAPL, you have to get the start command within that minute, or you will time out. You can't just run up to the bar, pick it up, and put it down. You have to get the start command.
If you guys need anything from up front.
All right, we got Alexis coming out here, 369 pounds. We got a couple more squats left of our second attempts, and then we got third attempts happening for our first flight.
It was 1 degree when I got in my truck this morning.
After that, we'll be moving on to flight 2. There will be 2 flights per session. 3 attempts
It's going to be
per
a fun,
flight.
like, fast-moving day. I like
Very
that.
fast-moving day. Some athletes really like shorter days. Some athletes really like longer days. But as a commentator, I can tell you that I do enjoy these. I do actually enjoy flight days as opposed to long days.
Yes, I agree. I do agree. That was a good lift there for her. We got Jenny Vick coming out next. Went up 15 kilograms from her first attempt to her second attempt. So one thing that you will see an attempt choosing is as the lifter is able to lift heavier lifts or squats, bench, or deadlift, the jumps do increase because you're looking at more of a percentage-based increase versus a hard 2.5, 5, 10, 15, whatever you want to do. But this is exciting. She's got that blue plate on there. This is 473 pounds. I wonder if she'll attempt a 500.
I'll be interested to see if she attempts a 500.
Let's see how this moves. Let's see how this moves.
473 pounds.
So,
a little sticky there in the middle, but depth was good. I'll be interested to see what they call for her third
again,
attempt.
it comes down to it's possible.
Yeah.
However, what is her goal for the day? Is her goal to secure a total for nationals?
That's fair. That is very fair.
Or is it to set
If
a
her
record?
other lifts move like that, she would, like, her openers would have like, I don't quite know what the rest of her openers look like for the day, but if she opens like she did on squat for her bench and deadlift, she's already qualified with openers.
So, like I said, it'll just be very interesting to see if she tries to what the goal for the day is.
Right.
And that's the one hard thing about being a commentator is we can guess what we would do in that situation, but every athlete is different. Every goal is different.
You can sit down, whatever you need to commemorate that for your athlete. We're good with that, as long as you keep the boundaries.
All right, we are starting our third attempts here, off with Susan Kennedy.
37.5 kilos on the bar to
This
start.
is 82 pounds.
Perfect 2 for 2 so far.
Let's go, Susan. All right, let's go. Nice and patient. Good catch there by the spotters and loaders.
Going 2 for 3.
Good job by our spotters and loaders.
Definitely lost her balance as she was coming out of the hole. She hit the hole very hard and just lost her balance.
And our spotters and loaders caught the bar. Normally, if you leave the bar, not a good thing. However,
she's got 70 kilos
they caught
on
the bar. I think she was trying to stay with the bar. If you saw her hands, they stayed
I
on.
didn't see him just went, I think you're fine, and he took the bar. It was like, all right,
We're just gonna re-rack this for you.
All right, we got Julie Vandal coming out next, 154 pounds. So, speaking of squat shoes, you'll see a lot of lifters wear those. You'll see a lot of lifters wear like a flat shoe or a barefoot style shoe, or you see lifters wear like a Van or a Converse, which some would argue is a barefoot style shoe, but it's really not. Springing at the top there, good lifts there for Julie. But the lifted shoe helps a lot of people with their ankle mobility and allowing them to get deeper into the hole and have more knee forward movement, so that way they can hit depth. Some people feel a little bit more stable in a squat shoe. You've seen a lot of advancements in powerlifting over the last 10 years, especially, I feel like, in equipment. Knee sleeves is a big topic.
In fact,
Sloan has chosen to go the ultimate raw here with no knee sleeves. However, you see a lot of people that wear
there for Sloan White.
what we call a Gen 2 knee sleeve, which is I would say a hybrid between a wrap and a knee sleeve, truly.
It's interesting that we're calling them a Gen 2 knee sleeve when, like, it's actually like the third or fourth iteration of knee sleeve that we've seen. So when I first started, 7mm knee sleeves were kind of hard to come by, so you got stuck with 5mm knee sleeves or knee wraps. And then as I started to grow in
Or knee
powerlifting,
wraps.
and then you went from 5mm to 7mm, and now they've created basically a different knee sleeve.
It's like
that
the ultimate neoprene.
I always like to joke, if it makes it so that you can't bend your knees, it's basically a knee wrap at that point.
Right.
There you go, all the way up.
Come on, Susan.
Susan Long, 3 more.
Good lift there for Susan. All right, we got Abby coming out here next. 203 pounds.
And just so we're all aware, there will be no downtime between Flight 1 and Flight 2. However, there will be a 10-minute break between squat and bench.
Oh, one thing we haven't commented on is Abby's actually got a high bar position versus a low bar position with where she puts the bar in her back. Typically, that puts the lifter in more of a quad dominant position versus a glute, hamstring. I don't want to call it it's less quad dominant and more.
It shifts the load from one area in your back to another area by moving it 2 to 3 inches up or down your back. What that does is that changes the left position of your body. So with that, like you were saying, high bar, you're a little bit more upright. As you move lower and lower down, you're hinging a little bit more forward, and you're going a little bit, not parallel to the ground, but closer and closer and closer to like that parallel to the ground, or almost a 45-degree angle.
Sometimes that truly depends on your hip anatomy too. Like some people are just more naturally upright lifters, and some people have a decent forward lean, and there's a lot of I don't want to say conversation around what your upper half should be doing while you're squatting. But I think a lot of people are starting to lean towards a more natural movement pattern versus forcing yourself to be upright.
Correct. And like for me, I actually do more of a mid-bar position when I squat anymore. So I'm a little bit more upright, a little bit more quad dominant. But it's just where it feels comfortable for you, where you feel like you can move the most amount of weight
100%.
safely.
Emily Narin, Doak Parker, Jess Rosario.
In these first couple flights of the day, specifically probably just this entire first session, you'll see a lot of like narrow hand placement on the bar because a lot of these lifters have really great shoulder mobility. As we get to the later half of the day, that was a great looking third attempt squat. Jenna,
very good.
Good lift there for her.
Alicia's up next.
The shoulder mobility will go down as we get
So
to the latter half
I will
of the
say
day.
I have very good shoulder mobility. However, I actually move my hands out on the bar for elbow health. I found that it takes so
100%.
much pressure off of
That
my elbows.
tendinitis. Ooh, that was a nice pick. Nice and patient. Very deep squat. Oh, almost too deep,
It was a
unfortunately.
little, so what looked like happened is her chest actually hit her quad.
Yeah.
And then she went down even further and then tried to low bar it out.
She just lost all tension whenever you do that, unfortunately. She's young. She's got a lot of meat. I think she did her last meet here, honestly. Very experienced, fun.
But she's part of the Sparkle Squad.
The Sparkle Squad, 100%.
Down to the last 7 squatters of Flight A. Flight B.
All right, we got Emmy coming out here, 231 pounds.
Emily.
Three white
Good
lights.
lift there for Emmy.
Lift was good.
Yeah, it was good.
We got to stay.
And it looks like a lot of these.
For somebody so young, she looks really well disciplined. I think is a good way to describe that.
It looks like she's practiced what she's trying to do.
100%.
frequently.
She's composed. We've got Doak coming out here, 238 pounds. Knee's definitely better on this third attempt here. A little bit higher out of the hole, though. We'll see what those judges say.
Third attempt through that sticking point. The judges say that
2-1.
2-1 for a state record.
Lift is good.
And that would be because of his knees locking and unlocking before or after the lift.
Jess is
All
up
right,
at
let's go,
110
Jess.
kilos. That's 242 pounds in the bar for Jess
This is a
Rosario.
5-kilo increase from her second attempt, which was a repeat of her opener.
Red
2-1,
lights from
no
the side
lift.
Judges on that one for
Just
Jess.
high, unfortunately.
And, you know, that's the risk that you take sometimes.
Yeah.
As it gets heavier, some lifters actually have the tendency to start cutting depth a little bit more and more because it's not conscious. It's a subconscious, like, oh, I need to cut it. It's safer if I cut it. So the more practice
It's your
you get
nervous
under,
system, 100%. Your brain, a lot of people are like, it's your range of motion, this sort of thing. But when it gets to the heavier weights, your body just naturally does that.
which is why I bounce off my ankles for everything and just call it good. If I always hit depth,
I don't know
never
about
have to
that
worry
one,
about
Brian.
it.
That's how you bottom out of the hole and can't squat as much. We got Reese coming out here, 259 pounds.
I mean, that's why I'm not a very good squatter anyway.
Fair.
Ouch.
Oh, she's got the fun Ivankas on. That's a new, I think that's what those are. A newer shoe. A lot of USAPL lifters love the Ivankas because they're such a flat shoe with the wider toe box. Nice grind there on that squat. Good lift for her.
117.5 kilos.
All right, we got Claire coming out here next with her third attempt squat, 369 pounds.
Claire Harris is the lifter.
So what we're going to see today is a battle between absolute total versus points.
Versus just having fun.
Right.
Flight B,
I'll be very interested to see how Claire stacks up against Jenny.
The question
And
here,
Alex.
Brian, not to interrupt you here, but what would you call that generation of knee sleeve she has on?
That's my generation. That is some old Stoics right there. You know how I know? Mine are 4 years old.
Yeah, but they're newer Stoics. They're not that old. They look pretty.
I mean, again, it just comes down to not quite
Oh,
there.
darn. Good save there by the spotters and loaders.
She gave it heck. Good job there. 2 for
so-
3 on the squats and moving some heavy weight.
It's kind of difficult without like actually pulling it out and seeing what kind of neoprene is in there.
Yeah.
To me, the stiffer neoprene counts as like a new gen or a next gen knee sleeve, whereas the more they actually have knee sleeves that are specified for meet day and training days now on certain websites.
We used to do that back in the day just by buying a different size SPD knee sleeve.
Or you just save one pair for meet day and one pair for training. Like it
100%.
used to be a little bit simpler,
All right,
but
this
Let's
is
go, Alexis.
380 pounds here for Alexis. Whoa.
Judges say.
3 to 1,
it
not
was-
quite there.
So close.
And every now and then,
Throwing.
you got to get a little bit loud and try to convince them.
Jenny
Yep.
Bitts up
So
next.
Jenny is doing 488 pounds,
Dang.
221.5 kilos.
And USA Powerlifting.
Oh, it's a national record.
National judges for American records. The state level meet is the lowest level meet where you can set a national
So you can set a national record now in USAPL at a state level meet. You didn't used to be able to do that, so that's exciting. As long as you have the right reps here, and we do have 3 national reps here, specifically probably for lifts like this today. All right, let's get behind Jenny here. 488 pounds. As of 20 to 23 is really exciting. I kind of have goosebumps right now, honestly. All right. Lots of energy in the room here. Nice and patient.
University, 488 pounds. American record on the line.
All right, here we go. Big brace. Hits the hole. Oh, darn.
Just runs out of
Huge.
gas.
She couldn't get out of that transition
No.
point. And so that's kind of what we saw in the first one and the second one. She can get out of that bottom quarter, bottom third really quickly. It's that transition from that middle point to the top point where it's going to take a lot of work. There's a few different things that you can do to focus on that one, but again, it comes down to the lifter.
The first thing I think of is chain.
Yes. You could do chains, honestly.
A lot
That's
of people don't train. A lot of people in drug-tested federations, as the sport has grown so much, you don't really see people lifting with that conjugate level implementation of bands and chains and overloading and things like changing your load like that. For me, that's what helped me at that point in my squat. My sinking point was a little bit higher than that, but lifting with chains broke that.
And so, again, it just comes down to, one, the coach that they have, what they're going to try to implement.
100%.
I do like chains as a way to break through that. Some people like bands still on squats. Yeah, those are miserable.
You can't see my face right now, but I just made an ugly face.
However, another thing that I believe on a personal level that a lot of, it's getting better now, but a lot of powerlifters have been weak at in the past, is training their accessories successfully.
That is
Right, they'll
also
come in,
true.
they'll hit their accessory for 3 sets of 10. That is a tall man right there. Tall teen.
Look at that range of motion. I'm impressed.
I could walk underneath the
198
bar.
pounds, yeah.
But what's happened previously is lifters would come in, they would give all of their effort on their main movement, so squat, bench, deadlift, and then they just phone in on the accessories and not put full effort towards them. We have seen a transition recently of training methods to hit those better, again, to help train your quads, train your glutes, train your hamstrings, build muscle. Big muscle moves weight. Strong muscle moves weight.
At the table in the back by the defibrillator on the wall.
Little stumble there as he walked out. Could have just been nerves, honestly. He does have a very large walkout.
Again,
Smith is
I literally just heard his coach say you don't have to walk back so far.
So one other thing that we're going to notice is a lot of these lifters are younger, right? A lot of these lifters from Joe's gym are
We have Joe's
teens
Gym
under
and
the
Friends
age-
University
yep,
here,
are
so
15 and under from Joe's gym. So they're still growing into their bodies, learning how to move with what they've got. And so it doesn't matter how much you practice. If you've shot up 6 inches in a summer, it doesn't matter because you still have to get used to it and change it again.
our right phone there on the left was waiting on his knees to be locked out.
15-year-old division.
Good lift there for Hudson.
237. Isaiah is going to be up next. I thought I was seeing Isaiah Bruce from the Rams. Isaiah Beers at 130 kilos. That's 286 pounds.
All right, we got Isaiah Beers coming out next, 286 pounds.
Miles is 3 out.
What a fun sport to do as a teenager.
Definitely a very different sport. They didn't really talk about powerlifting when I was in high school.
We didn't even really have weightlifting.
We
Like,
had
we had weightlifting at my school, but we did not have.
the
nice,
bigger,
strong
faster,
opener.
stronger system.
130
So
is
squat,
good.
power clean,
That's going to bring
and
up Warren
oddly
Humphrey.
enough, like
Jackson
bench press.
Jensen
That's
is
what they did at our high school too. I think
Miles
that
Snow.
actually still at the competitive
Jason
level
is
from a high
3 out.
school
Nate is 4 out.
weightlifting
David is
perspective,
5 out.
that is what they do.
And it's very interesting though that they were like, oh, we chose the power clean because it's more athletic than the deadlift, but then they choose the bench press instead of overhead press. I'm just over here.
Hey, how much you bench, bro? That's like the most, like, you tell anybody that you lift out in public, out in the, like, the common world.
And that's a problem. It should be how much do you overhead
well,
press,
how
bro?
much do you bench? How much you bench, bro? Well, I usually shock people when I tell them how much I bench, but that's why sometimes I wait for that question to be asked, just for fun. But,
Next at 150 kilos.
I also shock people with how much I bench, but it's in the exact opposite reason to do it.
In the 15-year-old division.
They go, how much you bench, bro? And then I just wait. I'm like, well, how much do You bench. Yeah, I can incline. I'll just say everything except for flat
Red
bench.
cheetah pants in the front row is Ellen Likens over here.
All right, we got Jackson Bojensen coming out here.
Bell Photography.
150 kilograms. This is 330 pounds. Wow.
Deep, fast,
On
smooth.
that opener.
Man,
Lift
2
is
to 1.
good.
2 to 1. Good lift. So you only need 2 white lights to get a lift. As we all know, 2/3 of anything is better than 2/3 of nothing.
I'm not really sure. So a red flag is only for squat depth, and I'm not sure how we earned that red light if they're going to call a red flag on that one, because that one was very...
Maybe the side ref sneezed when they pressed the button and accidentally missed.
Maybe. Not completely sure.
Miles Milton here. 160.
All right, we got Miles coming out here. 352 pounds. Smooth.
I believe I follow Miles somehow on
2 to 1,
Instagram,
good
and
lift.
he's going to be
Stomping
going
off
for
the
some
platform
records
as everyone
today.
wants.
If he's feeling good, he's been posting about it recently.
Where does he lift out of? Where? Oh, okay. A gym.
He
We
lifts
got
at a gym with weights and plates.
a gym with weights and plates. I like that. All right, we got Jason French here, 391 pounds for his opener. 16 to 17 age division, man. I feel old this morning.
I feel old every morning, Christy.
Me too.
Very fast. Let's see what the judges
Jason
have to say about
French
that.
at 177 and a
Your
half.
highlights
That
lift is
lift
good. So one thing that lifters will do when they're trying to figure out their depth is also
Nate
adjust
Heffel's our next
their
lifter.
foot positioning and width, because they'll be trying to, if they go too deep, they'll try to change their foot position to cut depth just a little bit. And if they don't go deep enough, some people will actually bring their feet in to try to get a little bit better range.
So that is one thing to think about that's really interesting as a teenage lifter.
Your 4 out, Austin, your 5
Your body is changing so much as a teenager that your hip anatomy is also changing, both as a male and a female. And squat is depth and squat movements in general are very specific to how your body is built. Even as you gain and lose weight, from that perspective too, your
2 to 1.
why can't
no
I
lift
think
on
of the
that one
word?
for Nate.
your proportions change.
Yes.
And so as your proportions change, sometimes your squat
David's
changes
our
with
next
that.
lifter at 182 and a half kilos.
It's,
That's
again, a
402
learning process.
pounds.
They're learning their body. Also,
Yeah.
that was what we like to
And Meals
call
on deck.
French low
Thomas
bar
is
right
in the
there.
hole. Brandon's 3
That
out.
is
Austin,
probably one of the
4 out.
biggest
Corey,
males
you're
I've ever
5 out.
seen do French low bar. That thing was on the bottom of his tricep.
All right, we got David here opening at 402 pounds. Very smooth, solid looking
Some
opener there.
smooth
Nice and
squatting there from
controlled.
Mr. Brown. That's a good lift. at
Clean.
That's
402
exactly what you
pounds.
want to see in your opener is
And
something
Neil's up
that you
next
can
at
hit easily
190.
2 to
That's
3 times, no
418.
matter the day of the week. No matter
Second
if you're,
attempt is where you have a little
no
bit
matter
more
if you've got
fun.
an upper respiratory virus or you cut a bunch of weight the day before and you're trying to
You got bad sleep.
Speaking of cutting, which none of these kids in these flights
Thomas,
should have
you're on
done,
deck.
might I add. Some athletes do choose to cut weight for meets to make a certain
Speedy
weight
opener
class, to
for
break
Neil at
records, qualify
190.
for a certain weight division, whatever.
Did
However
you
it
say
may
that's a
be,
2 to 1 good lift?
this is a 2-hour weigh-in. Today, some feds are a 24-hour weigh-in, so how much weight you can cut healthy, and then how much you can recomp in that 2 hours impacts what you do on that platform.
And not just that, a lot of people, especially if they're newer, think that they need to cut to fit into a weight class. When in reality, your first meet should be to come in, get experience on the platform, because you will make mistakes.
100%. 100%.
Opening up at
I think that's also
420
something for me that's very easy to say as somebody
He's
that
got a Friends
hasn't
University
really had much of a
glove
weight
to
class
165
most of her
pound
powerlifting
division today.
career. So I've always been in that plus sign. I've been on that borderline. They added a few more weight classes, and I did get a weight class at my last meet. But
Yeah, I've been in 3 different weight classes.
a lot of forward lean on his squat, like
A
we've
lot.
talked about,
So
which is not wrong,
Good
like we
lift
said
there.
earlier.
it's not bad at all.
No,
Brandon's
yeah,
next
as long as
lifter
you
at
know how to control
195,
it, like you're trained to train it.
429
Um,
for Brandon.
Good core control, I
Yeah.
think, is very important.
Austin is on deck.
Proper
Cole is in
bracing
the hole.
into your belt.
These are
A
our
lot
last
of things that you see
in
lifters
round one.
practice, both that are
Squats.
in general for squats, now that we're incorporating more accessories in our training. Good mornings.
How about how
because you're training that essentially that failure position and how to get out of it or how to maintain that position.
Do it without him.
Yeah,
Give it up
it's
for our spotter.
great
And very
assistance.
fragile.
Barbell Club and beyond today. Yeah, that's you, Grace and Colby. 195 in the bar for Brandon. Good lift.
Good lift right there. So, Christy, I've been in 3 different weight classes
Cole, you're on
across
deck.
a
These
bunch
are
of different
our
meets.
2 lifters
My
in
first
round
weight class
1.
was 75
To start off
kilograms at my
round
first
2
meet,
in
and
the
I weighed
hole,
in
we've
at
got Archie
150
4 out
pounds.
is Joseph, and 5 out is Hudson.
I had pneumonia 3 weeks before.
Did you hit your openers?
Not on bench.
No, that's
Didn't
fair.
hit my second on bench either.
Oh.
Then I hit my third.
Imagine that.
It was that meet.
That's nice. We got Austin here. 479 pounds.
Good lift. Cole Cheney is our next lifter. Cole's opening up here at 501 pounds for our last opener.
All right, we got 501 pounds on the opener here for squats for Cole. 16 to 17 age division here, 90 kilograms.
16 to 17-year-old Team 2 division.
Sporting a fresh haircut there, I do believe. Very fast. See what those judges say on his step there. I can't see the sides. Look good. So
Speedy. It's almost on that. It was a quick opener at 500 pounds. That's going to bring up our second round of squats in Flight B. Our trail's going to start us off.
all right, we got archery all coming out next. 209 pound squat here for him.
This 4 out.
That was really fast.
It was
Along with those spotters and loaders, we also can't
And
do this
tight
without our
and
judges.
controlled,
We've got
and
judges
it looked
from
good.
Here, St. Joe, the KC Mo area, Colorado, St. Louis, Wichita. We're starting things off in second attempts here at
All right.
209 pounds.
all skin and bones right there, but moving that weight.
Good lift.
Yeah, so he really, like,
White lights
one thing
on
that we
that
haven't talked about, well, we've talked a lot about, like,
That's gonna bring
human
up
anatomy,
Joseph
quite
Roberts.
literally, and body
Hudson,
proportions.
you're in the
He's got the
on-deck
long
circle.
femur.
Isaiah,
He's
you're
got-
in
He
the
has a
hole.
lot of leg.
Warren,
He's got a lot of
you're
leg. He's got a lot of everything.
Yeah, but he's got a lot more leg than he has torso. So that's why he leans so much further forward, is because he has to hit depth.
So
Ooh,
Artriol and
a little
Joseph over
wobbly on
here
that bar
are
there.
lighter lifters, actually. It sounds weird to say that they're 82 and a half, which is not light for general. Good patience on that one.
Yeah,
But they
definitely could
are
work on a
lifters.
little bit more control. Maybe create some more tightness in his back from the bar,
Yeah.
with the bar, so that way it puts him in a better starting position, truly. But he's young,
Yeah.
learning, like,
Gotta learn, gotta grow, gotta make mistakes. But the
But
previous two lifters, again, they're very light for their height.
100%.
They're probably going to be, if
Put
they
some
don't
tissue on and
it'll be a lot better.
eat some
They'll
protein.
probably be closer to, like, if somebody were to tell them what weight class they should be, which I don't believe in, whichever one you want to compete at and be comfortable with is fine. But they're probably athletes capable of carrying 220 pounds on their frame.
Oh,
comfortable.
yes.
Very smooth right there for Hudson.
That was nice.
Very clean. We'll probably see another 5-kilo jump on that one. That's just what he did between his first and his second and his third.
Yeah.
303 pounds on the bar here for Isaiah. Isaiah Beers at 137.5 kilos. That lift is good.
Good lift there for Isaiah.
Warren Humphrey, 152.5 kilos going on the bar. That's 336.
All right, we got Oren coming out here next. 152.5. That's a 12.5 kilo jump up to 336 pounds.
On deck. Miles, you're in the hole. Nate, you're 3 out.
Can we talk about how we have some dope names today? Oren, Jackson Bo Jensen. Like that's a dope name right there.
Jackson Bo Jensen.
Jackson Bo Jensen.
Oren Humphrey.
Sounds like a football player from the 70s.
kilos here, 336 pounds.
Oh, he seems pretty happy with that squat. Let's see if judges are also happy with that squat.
That's a 3 white line.
So we were talking about knee sleeve tightness. If you watch Oren walk off the platform, he's not able to bend his
I have
knees.
scars on the back of my knees from the Gen 2 knee sleeves.
Guess what? I didn't have scars on the back of my knees from for very long. Wraps.
I will say that I've heard a lot of people that do lift in wraps that have also had a good wrap, because I think you have to have a good wrap to truly experience wraps. Speaking of Jackson Bo Jensen here, we're coming out here with 352 pounds. You can tell he's got a Gen 2 knee sleeve based on how they pop out and they're not completely stuck to his leg in the form because they're so stiff at the hole there.
Nice. Jackson, JBJ over here. I'm going to say that because it's easier to say, but JBJ, if you watch his squat, he'll actually force his way up and look almost directly at the ceiling. It's a key to make sure he keeps his chest up. As he gets older and as he gets better with the sport,
and you're more controlled,
he'll probably start to bring his head down, because what happens is the more that you look up, the more you're going to start to tip back a little bit.
And your hips can shift a little bit there out of the hole. Lots of fun things to break down there. We got Miles here, 380 pounds. A little shifty there in the hole, actually.
380 pounds. And
yeah.
It's 2-1, no good.
He just needs to get a little bit better on depth.
So back to having a good rep. What I've heard is that a lot of people that have had good reps before sometimes feel like some of these Gen 2 knee sleeves actually feel like a wrap when they're wearing them, or they have a scar in the same place that they'd have that like nervy kind of pain from a wrap. Except for you can't take these off in between.
Yeah.
Some people fold them down, but to me that just cuts off blood circulation to your feet.
It's the nice thing about a knee wrap is you can take it off. The bad thing about a knee wrap is you can crank it, and it is uncomfortable to be cranked.
Good looking second attempt there for Nate.
Nate.
Plenty of room there for a nice looking third.
391 on the bar there for Nate. That's a
Three white lights lift is good. Yeah, as somebody who's had a good knee wrap, they are the best description that I can give of a good knee wrap is you feel claustrophobia. Your heart races. It feels like there's piano wire on the back of your kneecap. And you know what? You might as well throw some weight on my back because I'm not going to feel it anyway.
I will say every lifter today is a raw lifter. So you won't see any knee sleeves today.
You won't see any knee sleeves, huh?
Oh, no, get knee wraps. Sorry, my bad. Caffeine hasn't quite kicked in, apparently. Solid looking second attempt there for Jason. 418 pounds. 2-1.
I haven't squatted in a minute. Not really squatted in a minute. I don't know what I could do right now.
Brandon is 3 out. Austin
I mean, I've been doing lots of squat pro, a lot of single leg variation.
For flight B.
I've done safety squat bar, some high bar.
But when you've been powerlifting and weightlifting for a certain amount of time, I feel like sometimes, I don't want to call it like riding a bike, but your muscles don't forget.
It might take them a couple weeks to get back.
Yeah, like obviously, like if you're an 800-pound squatter, you're not gonna like get to that number, and you may not ever get back to that number.
But 600 pounds is a lot easier once you have the context.
Right. Like I feel like I could probably still squat 375 if I wanted to.
I'll probably end up doing my yearly 405 test, but.
All right, we got Emil coming out here, 446 pounds. Man, there must be a new trend with haircuts because we've all got this like longer top. I don't want to call it mullet-ish fade thing.
It's a reverse mullet. Party in the front and business in the back, baby.
Good.
You got that feathering of the hair.
Yeah. We don't see so many perms here this morning. But it's definitely like longer on the top and shorter on the sides. Some guys have chosen to have it's almost Patrick Mahomes-ish, only more like probably Travis Kelce-ish if you're going to really compare it to somebody. All right, we got Thomas coming out here, 451 pounds.
451 pounds for Mr. Noonan here.
He is sporting one of the newer variations of squat shoe, actually. So he has a wide toe squat shoe from Tier. It allows the lifter to really spread their toes. Can help some people with foot rooting. Help with balance, feel the floor a little bit more when you squat. Sticky for a second attempt there. 2-to-1 good lift. He's happy with that.
For Thomas Noonan. Brandon is up next with his second attempt at 207.5 kilos. Austin, you're on deck. Cole, you're in the hole. Last 3 squats of round 2 for Flight B. Smooth squat for Brandon.
Yeah, that was nice and smooth. 2-to-1. Unfortunately, it was high.
Austin's our next lifter. He's got 230 kilos on the bar. Cole is on deck.
All right, we got Austin coming out here, 507 pounds. We have 2 more squats this first session of the day.
Roberts, you're 4 out. Hudson Smith, you're 5 out.
Oh, man, lost tension there. A good catch there by the spotters and loaders. All right, 507 pounds. We're going up here for Cole, 545 pounds.
We got some state records popping today. He's doing his second attempt at 545 pounds. He is a
Nice looking squat there for Cole.
Next up in our outro, Houston, also from Joe's Gym, so we know this is going to hit.
All right, we're on to third attempts here with Artrial, 220 pounds. Definitely some internal monologue happening there.
He's gearing up for the anime fight.
Power flew off his back. It's like
Really good.
Oh, man.
Oh, got him for dead.
So there are a couple things
Next up,
that,
another Joe's Gym disciple.
again, as he gets
Joseph
better and
Roberts.
better, he'll probably
I
start to
think we
figure
have
out and fit.
17 Joes
One is
competing for Joe's
taking
Gym.
his head side to side, losing tension in the back. Then both hands let go of the
Yeah.
bar,
Let's
and
go,
then he
medium
But, I
Joe.
mean,
We got
young,
Big Joe.
get some
Then
years
we got
on.
6'7" Joe.
That'll come with time.
Then we have Sus Joe.
All right, 231 pounds here. Better looking bar position there, I think, on his back.
Ooh.
It did take a step, though, so I
he won't
think,
get that lift.
unfortunately, depending on if the judges saw that,
They definitely did.
Yeah, 2-1.
Missed something. Medium
Yeah.
hands.
He took a step.
Stopped in the middle of the lift?
No, he took a step.
Oh, lost his step. A professional announcer called me out. Thank you.
You're welcome. He like marched
Hudson
almost.
Smith is up from Joe's.
All right, we got Hudson
I think
coming
this
out
is an
here,
entire
259
Joe flight.
pounds.
Ha ha.
Great walkout. Can we also take note? He is in the 14 to 15 age
Touchdown.
division, and that squat looks beautiful.
It's a great looking squat.
3 white lights. These are the last squats for session 1. So, crowd, where you at?
All right, we're getting
My
close to
announcers
the
are
end
louder
of
than you.
session
Or my
1
live stream
squat.
announcers are louder than you. I feel like I'm at the Masters or something. Just yeah.
All right, 314 pounds here for Isaiah.
I honestly thought his name said Isaac Bruce, and I got excited. I'm like, oh my God, that's my childhood hero for the St. Louis Rams. But no, it's Isaiah Pierce. Also from Joe's Gym, this meat has now been changed to Joe's Meat. No.
Oh, wow. Way to stick with that
Let's
lift,
see what the
honestly.
judges say, though. It looked like there might have been a little bit of downward motion on the
2
ball.
lights.
Yeah, 2 to 1.
ref Probably saw up and downward movement, but he got 2
Yeah.
lights from the other 2 refs.
So the
Next
glue
up, we
is
have Orange
downward motion.
Humphrey.
And if you take a look at the judge on his left-hand side, which was a lot more obvious.
Yeah.
His favorite burrito from Chipotle is steak.
All right, we got Warren coming out here, 352 pounds. Also in the 16 to 17, also sporting the haircut of the day, might I add.
The front feathers.
The haircut of the flight.
He has the best shirt on. He is Batman. Justice.
Ooh, man, stick whoa!
Solid grind on that one.
He may
Dang!
have cracked, but he got it.
That's a good lift.
I would have.
Empty the clip.
All right, now we got Bo.
All right, we got Jackson Bo Jensen coming out here again.
Kansas,
374 pounds.
the Sultan of SWAT.
Man, they must have all gotten matching haircuts today because they all got that matching fade on the side.
You know what?
Oh,
It's a conservative mullet.
Can,
he's got the best
maybe.
man on the
It's
west
not
side of
quite
the
as,
road. Good God.
Not quite as aggressive.
all right, Miles Milton.
From BTP, Brandon Tomer Productions. I don't know if that's right, Brandon. It's not. I think he gave up on coaching and now he's doing video productions.
He's got some shiny dunks. Are those dunks or Jordans? Dunks. There you go.
Good lift.
3 white.
All right, we got Nate Heffel coming out here, 418 pounds.
Bars loaded says your chief ref, Sarah Thomas. Sarah, you're from Serbia, right? No? Where are you from? Austria. Okay. The more famous Austrian I know, Arnold Schwarzenegger. That dude's baloney.
All right, Nate. That French low bar.
Who?
I mean,
that is
it's
really-
borderline. It's
Just to
at the
give our
top
head
edge
chief
of that
ref
French low
a
bar,
shout out.
which is
She's
not
the
legal
second
anymore in the
strongest female in
IPF.
Missouri. What was your dot score? 445, 450? Yeah. I mean, Jesus. She decided the Missouri State prime time's not big enough. She
All right, we got David Brown here, 435 pounds.
Very Candido squat right there.
That was a beautiful squat.
All right, Jason French here, 435 pounds.
Jason French Toast here. He's coming up with a 197.5 kilo squat.
He's got some shiny heels on those shoes of his.
It's a state record. Let's get that croissant, Mr. French.
This is a state record attempt here.
Wee wee.
That is a solid looking third attempt.
Good job, Jason.
Nice call there. Good job.
He runs out, he gives a hug. One day I want a hug like that. That seems sentimental.
I wish somebody would hug me.
You're gonna hug me?
Oh, Brian.
If we drug test, we better.
That's what everyone says when I say that. Why?
All right, Thomas Noonan here, 457 pounds.
Here, Thomas Newman. Let's get behind Tommy here.
Using his full minute at a time here. He's got 28 seconds left. Plenty of time here.
I mean, he knows the rule book.
He is the Kansas State co-chair.
Exactly.
He is the rule book.
The rule book's tattooed on him.
Yeah.
Oh.
ChatGPT
Good
told
save
him to
there.
calm down.
He like fell forward in the hole. That was really weird.
He also knew enough to not fight that. He said, you know what? I'm not going to risk it. Let's get me out of this.
I don't think he had a choice.
Emily
Kinda
Bailey
like-
is up next.
I don't know if he came up on his toes. I was
Emil.
watching him, not my screen down here.
Emil.
All right, we got Emil coming out here, 468 pounds.
Good grind on that one. Consistently slow on the way up.
All right, 473 pounds here for Brandon.
So Brandon missed his second attempt and jumped by 7.5 kilos. To 473.99 pounds. We don't round up here. There we go. Clean, smooth.
Brandon Johnson with 3 lights.
All right, we got Austin Van Busker here, 507 pounds.
We've got 2 more squats. We've got Austin Van Buursak and Cole Cheney.
I got nothing on these last names.
Cheney's coming up next.
Oh.
Good catch, spotters.
Nice catch there by the spotters and loaders.
We have our last squat for this session. The Coltrane. He's coming in hot. He's doing
All right, we got
state
one
record
squat
at
left, and then it'll be
551
transitioning
pounds.
from squat to bench. It'll be a 10-minute
He's
intermission.
also from
to
Mojo
squat and bench.
Jojo's gym. They pretty much filled this entire meet with their roster.
All right, 551 pounds here for Cole. This is a big squat for a 16 to 17.
The Coltrane's
All
tracking down
right,
the
let's see
track.
what the
That is
judges
a
say.
second attempt. I think
2 to
we
1,
should give
good
him a
lift.
fourth the next meet.
So I believe we do have one more lifter.
We do have one more lifter on
All right,
this.
ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get the platform set up for the first bench. That is at 275 kilograms. Once the bench is set up, we will start a 10-minute.
You can't see him on the camera, unfortunately.
Now,
But we have
Joe
a very
Jim's
cute
demonstrating how to
another
squat
lifter here
properly in
from
a
Joe's
blue singlet
gym.
in front with
Wow.
yes, that is 17
Woo!
lights. And he's doing it in Nikes. And he did it behind the back of the neck, shoulder
All right.
It's very unfortunate. You guys can see that was probably the cutest thing we're going to see all day. So,
Okay,
Cutest
stay
thing we're gonna see all
tight.
day.
We're going to start
Once
this
the
10-minute
platform
timer.
is
We're
set,
going to keep rocking and rolling.
It'll be
At
10 minutes.
10:30, we're going to do athlete check-in for second session up.
All right, so as we dive into bench press, let's go over some rules, some common rules. This isn't every single one of them, but these are just a few. So when it comes to the bench press, your starting position is important. You got to take the bar off the rack and wait for the start command, and that's going to be coming from the head judge. There will be a hand motion and a vocal command. The part of the reason why we do hand motions for powerlifting is to help people who are hard of hearing be able to lift with us. Then there is the pause on the chest, where you lower the bar to the chest. Keep it motionless on that portion of your chest until the headrest gives you the press command, raising their hand up. This shows that you have control of the bar and will really help you stick that in. It does make it harder to press it up because you have to stop at the very bottom, but that's all good. Next is the press. You have to drive the bar up until elbows are fully extended, locked out. That has to be an even extension. There can be no downward motion. There cannot be unlocking or locking of elbows.
It does not necessarily have to be an even extension. You can lock one out before the other one.
But it has to be pseudo even. I didn't think you could have one arm pause
In
at the bottom.
USAPL, you can lock one and then the other. Bar is loaded here. We are getting started here for Susan Kennedy. Nice opener there for Susan.
Now the bench press has 3 commands, okay? And I know some of y'all can't follow 1 or 2. Yeah, it's 3 commands. So in the bench press, they have to get set up and unrack the bar. Once they have control of it unracked, and the head judge Sarah is going to tell them they can start. The bar has to be motionless on their chest, and then they get a press command, and then they have to control it at the top, and they get a rack.
So the rule says the bar may be pressed up unevenly, and one arm may lock out before the other one, provided there is no downward movement of the whole bar in its entirety at any point after receiving the press command. That is one of the differences between USAPL and the other feds. Is IPF and USAPL have that leeway, and you don't have to lock elbows at the same time. You can lock one before the other one.
There's so many rules.
USAPL was the first federation I competed in, so that's the reason I know some of these weird caveat rules between the 2 different federations. Another thing to note that's different between USAPL and PLU or USPA is that you will not see a single lifter with their heels up. Heels have to be in contact with the ground. You can wear a heeled shoe, like a squat shoe, but your heels actually have to be in contact with the ground. A recent rule change, you won't see a whole lot of people do it in this first session, but in the second session, a recent rule change was that you are allowed to actually lift your head up off of the bench. It used to have to be in contact with the bench, but it no longer has to be in the contact. Your glutes do have to stay in contact the entire time. So one thing that you might see a little bit, because you see it more with women and smaller men more than anything, is the glutes coming up off the bench or a booty foul. Easy looking opener there for Julie. There are also 3 commands. There's a start, a press, and a rack. So you get the start command when you unrack the bar, and it is motionless at the top. Your elbows are locked. You get the press command after you've brought the bar to your chest, and the bars become motionless. And then you get the rack command when you have completed the lift, and your elbows are locked back at the starting position. Another thing to note is that you do have to have the same handoff person for the entire flight. So only what you can't have somebody that you choose give you a handoff. You have to get, like, if somebody wants a handoff from people, it is a designated individual of the spotting and lifting crew that gives you that handoff.
Correct.
Alicia
Because some people actually practice self handoffs a little bit more so in USAPL and IPF just because of that rule specifically.
And honestly, I actively choose to do self handoffs for myself as well. I feel like I get more consistency.
You're
out
under
of my
you,
lift-off.
you control it 100%.
Correct. And again, I leverage my way out of it.
All right, 104 pounds here for Alicia. Good lift there for Alicia.
Sparkle Squad represent.
After Emmy, it's going to be Becky.
Solid opener there for Emmy.
Merriam, 2-1.
2-1. Good lift. That 22% coming in clutch for the day.
Sometimes, some things you'll notice in the
So
bench.
it sounds like the reason that she got a red light in the middle is because her elbow wasn't locked at the top there. So
Sometimes the bar hasn't stopped moving yet, especially with like some of our bigger guys later in the day. They might bounce it a little bit. If they do that, we're going to wait till the bar stops.
all right, we got Rebecca coming out here, 115 pounds. A very narrow grip here, all tricep.
Wait for the start command. I don't
Smooth
think.
opener for Becky. 3 white
Oh,
lights.
I didn't hear the start command.
I did.
Not the start, the press command.
Oh, I did.
Oh,
If you would like
I
to
just
know
completely
how to
missed
get
that.
your hair silky and smooth like Becky's, you should.
Brian's auditory processing skills were not very great. That does bring up a great point, though. If you are hard of hearing, you can actually request that that head ref that is doing the verbal commands come closer to the lifter so that way you can, like, literally sometimes they'll have the judge or the ref come, like, right next to their face to give them commands. Right.
Doak's up next. 60.5 is on the bar.
All right,
for
Doak coming up here, 133 pounds on the bar.
This is a state record attempt for Doak.
Nice wide, a little bit of a hesitant. So the reason he didn't get quite such a fast press command is because he did kind of bounce when he hit his chest.
That was a little example of where she waited a second because it bounced just a little bit, but he had full control and then pressed it no problem.
Yep. Very easy way to, like,
Susan's our next lifter. She's got 62
train
and a
this
half to
for
get
a lot
on
of
the bar.
lifters to get that control is actually t-shirt press. You come down and touch the tip of your t-shirt, and then
The
you press
state
up.
record bench press
And
for
you
Susan
pause
at
on that.
130.
What a great
Lightly.
lift to train that too. Like it just. So Brian and I are having a fun conversation here about our energy drinks. I am sporting the new Cherry Bomb Alani New. I would say it tastes like Cherry Dr. Pepper Zero, personally. I do really enjoy it. It is a little bit flatter
Reese
than
is
like a
up
Dr.
next at
Pepper is,
67.5.
but I'm not mad about it.
I don't like cherry, so I am drinking a strawberry shot, zero sugar Monster Energy, and it tastes
I
like
didn't
somebody...
even know that was a thing.
Neither did I until I got it last night. And it is very much like somebody put like strawberry flavor in
lift for
the
Reese.
OG
Jess is up
green
next.
Monster, like the black can Monster that
That's
I used to drink in high
interesting.
school. I like the nostalgia, and I like the little fruity twist in it too.
Huh. We got Jess Rosario coming out here, 148 pounds for her opener.
Alexis, you're on deck.
Honestly,
Claire,
like,
you're in the
I
hole.
couldn't,
Jenny,
I didn't
you're
realize
3
that I was
out.
nostalgic for
Last
the
4
OG
bench
monster
pressers of
until
round
drinking
1 for
this.
Flight A.
I know, it's weird. I grew up in high school. There's a kid who drank 3 or 4. He drank a ridiculous amount of monsters in 30 minutes over lunch, and he got caffeine poisoning.
Good grief.
Jess Rosario.
Solid looking opener there.
Good
A
opener,
very
3
nice
highlights. Alexis is
display
up next.
of
She's got
that
the same weight on
t-shirt
the bar.
press, soft
We love
touch
these repeaters, don't
type
we,
bench
guys?
press. Later this afternoon, if you guys choose to watch
Whenever they
second
do the same
session
weight back-to-back,
or
it
support
makes a
those
big
lifters,
difference.
you will see some lifters sink it. Specifically, one of our larger lifters of the day, Devontae Lewis, is competing today. He is only qualifying for nationals, so he's not.
Let's go, Alexis.
I don't anticipate him even sweating 900 pounds, honestly.
From what I've heard, rumor, it will
Maybe
be a
8.
first attempt kind of day.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to be an SBD day. Like, he's just going to come in, lift, and call it a day. He's really just having fun. That makes sense. All right, Claire Harris coming out here, 90 kilograms.
That's 198 pounds. It's a big old bench press. Jenny is on deck. These are our last 2 bench presses in Flight A. When we start round 2, it'll be Susan, Kendi, Sloan, Jenna Jo, and Julie starting us off in round 2.
So one of the nice things that sets this federation apart from the other federations that lifters can choose to be a lift up is this part right here. So to get that start command, wow, what a nice opener.
Very cool.
The side refs have to say they are ready and that they agree the lifter is ready. So you don't get that red
Jenny
light
gets
for
up
your
next.
glutes not being down because your
Jenny's
head
opening
ref
up
called
at
the start command
105
early.
kilos. That's 231.
That is
That's a
probably
lot
one of
weight.
my favorite things that's a little bit different is that those side refs say the lifter is ready, I am ready.
Anytime natural
Gives a cue for
champion.
that head ref that the lifter can start once they agree with them as well.
If I'm seeing this correctly, Jenny is not even wearing wrist wraps.
Man, to be 23 again.
20 to 23-ish.
She's opening at 231 pounds. Like I said earlier, her openers, I don't know what she's opening deadlift, but she qualifies for raw nats with this. As long as she can total today, my guess is she will qualify.
You know, normal, but that's not normal for many people. It's a lot of weight.
This is really, wow.
And making light work of it, too. Good lift for Jenny, though. Well, Abby, you're 3 out.
All right, we got Susan coming out here with her second attempt. Nice work
Good
there
lift
for Susan.
Sloan's our next lifter. 37.5 kilos on the bar.
Super narrow grip there.
Sloan white, 3 white pockets. Good lift.
All right, we got Jenna Jo Jensen coming out here, 93 pounds.
Jenna Joe at 42.5 kilos here for this second attempt. Nice looking lift for Jenna.
Good looking second attempt there for Jenna. Plenty left to
Abby,
come
you're
have fun on
next.
her third.
Three
Julie,
white lights,
you're on
always
deck.
a good
Alicia,
sign.
you're in the hole. Becky, you're 3 out. Emmy, you're 4 out. Dope, you're 5 out. Susan Long, 6 out.
All right, 99 pounds here for Abby.
Onward Physical Therapy. Feel free to stop by and see him if you're in.
Good lift there for Abby.
Julie's up next. After Julie's going to be Alicia, Becky, Emily,
If you guys aren't able to watch this later today or at any point during the day today, feel free to watch your favorite lifter out on Lifting Cast. You won't be able to see visually, but you can see how they did at the end of the day. It shows their attempts, and whether they green means that they got the lift, red means that they missed the lift. So you can still go out and follow your favorite lifter just out on Lifting Cast. Just search for 2026 USA Powerlifting Kansas State Champions. And that's organized by date, so we should be right at the top of that list out there. And that's at liftingcast.com. All right, we got Alicia Kellogg here, 50 kilograms for her. Very pretty. Very pretty. 3 white lights.
50 kilos. Becky's up next. State record going for 121 pounds. Emmy, you're on deck. Dope, you're in the hole. Susan, 3 out. Reese, 4 out. Jess, 5.
All right, we got Becky Jensen here. 55 kilograms. 121 pounds. Wow.
Really fast press command on that.
That was
one.
like an opener there.
Good lift.
Great control.
Emmy's up next. State record
Emmy up
attempt
next
for
with
Emmy
55
Merriam.
kilos for a state record attempt.
Dope, you're on deck. Susan Long, you're in the hole. Reese, you're 3 out. Jess, you're 4 out. Alexis, 5.
Two to one.
Good
Good
lift
lift.
for Emmy. 2 to 1. Doak is our next lifter. Susan is
So
on
one
deck.
thing the judges
Reese
are
is in
talking
the
about
hole.
right now, and you can't really see the
Jess, you're 3
conversation.
out. Alexis,
The head
4.
judge
Claire,
gave
5.
a red light
Jenny,
for elbow
6.
not being locked out on the right elbow. The side judge was explaining that they can see the elbow, but they can't see the bend. So they're looking at it from a straight angle, so they can't see if it's fully extended or not.
That makes sense.
And so your visual cue is a little bit different.
All right, we got Doak coming out here, 62 kilograms.
For Doak Parker at 136 pounds.
This is his state record, 12 to 13, age division.
Good lift.
Good lift.
That's going to
Susan
bring
Long
up
at
Susan at
57.5
148
kilos.
pounds in the state record attempt. Reese is on deck. Jess is in the hole. Alexis is 3 out. Claire 4. Jenny 5.
All right, bars loaded here for Susan. This is the 148 pounds. Very clean second attempt there.
3 white lights for Susan Long. Good state record.
Reese Erickson up next, 72.5 kilos on the bar.
Good lift. Jess is up next.
Jess Rosario up next, 72.5 kilos on the bar still. Then we move to Claire Harris for 97.5 and Jenny Witt at 110 kilos. Then we'll be starting third attempts for first session for flight 1.
All right, Jess Rosario here, 72.
Got one more round for that. Alexis is our next lifter. She's got 165 going on the bar. That's 75 kilos.
All right, 165 pounds here for Alexis.
We are seeing a lot of lifters not use wrist straps, actually.
It's because we have a lot of young lifters in this first session.
Well, except for Alexis is an open lifter, so a little bit more experienced potentially. Also not using strap, using wraps. Interesting. But definitely going to close to that legal limit of widths right there.
That was a great.
Claire's up next.
2 to
Jenny's
1.
on deck. Those are our last 2 benchers for round 2.
All right, 2 attempts left in second attempts, and then we'll be moving into third attempts for first flight.
I believe she got one of those reds because her glutes came up off of the bench. All right, we got Claire here, 97.5 kilos or 214 pounds. A big bench here for 18 to 19. Yes. Oh, no, take it. Yeah.
That was a pretty aggressive jump, I will say.
On that one for Claire, she's got one more round for that. That's going to bring
That
up
was
Jenny
a 7.5 kilo jump,
242
which,
pounds.
again, doesn't sound like a lot, but percentage-wise, you're jumping almost 10%.
Yeah.
That's on bench, that is
That's-
pretty aggressive. Like, if you take a look, Jenny is up next. Jenny just did 231 pounds or 105 kilos. She only jumped 5 kilos.
That's about the kind of jumps that I like to make too. I've done a couple 7.5 between my first and second attempt.
Again, it comes down to the individual
100%.
and how you've been coached, how you train.
Well, I think I opened at 242 when I did that 7.5 kilo jump, which percentage-wise makes more sense.
Very much so.
All right. Should be good lift there for Jenny. Good job.
We'll see if she does either another 5 kilo jump or a 2.5 kilo jump. If her bench is anything like her squat, she's going to hit a sticking point right in the middle in the transition. You saw it a little bit on that one as well, where she came off of her chest pretty quickly, but then that transition off of her chest. I think she's going to go for 250. Above 250, she gave a little jump right there. So
Oh,
probably
251,
250, yeah, somewhere in there. Again, that's not a bad call. It comes down to if she has the same transition point that she did on squats, that's going to be a little bit different than where we're at right now.
Well, and the difference with bench, come on, Susan, stick with it. Nice work there, Susan. The difference between bench and the other two lifts, a lot of people think of, I'm going to start with this. A lot of people think that bench is just an upper body lift. And if as a power lifter, that is completely incorrect. It is a whole body lift, in my opinion, because you are using leg drive, you're using your upper body, you're using your triceps, your glutes, all of that to get the bar up off the ground. Cramping happens so often in bench press, especially on third attempts as you work your way up at the top of your like weight division. And muscle fatigue also impacts a little bit because you are using more of your upper body muscles to get that. So like Sloan is using all tricep here. But you hit this brick wall typically whenever you hit your failing point. A lot of people go lift good, and then it just smacks you in the face.
45 kilos on the bar.
Some people can grind, some people can't.
It's you can kind of teach yourself to grind, but that's fighting against your natural instincts, and that takes a lot of time to train.
A lot of time to train.
Like
All
for
right.
me, I've learned how to grind a little bit better after transitioning to more bodybuilding style movements.
That's
Even
fair.
on the machines, because on the machine I can go, oh, just keep going, and I know it's gonna be fine. It used to be on a bench, my brain would be like, go.
Look at Jenna go.
Very smooth, Jenna Jo Jensen.
Good lift for Jenna Jo Jensen. We got Julie coming up. Let's go, Julie.
Yeah, it looks like Jenny did go up 5 kilograms. She went up to 115. All right. Julie here, 104 pounds. Wow, look at her go. Yes. Nice bench press there for Jenny. All right,
So
we
one
got
thing to note when it comes to Abby Fry is it's going to be a fun lift. But the thing that I was going to say before I accidentally interrupted you, Christy, is I'll be very interested to see where a lot of these young lifters are in the next like 3 to 5 years.
oh, 100%.
Because powerlifting is the thing that rewards
Abby's the
you
lifters.
when you stick with it for a long period of
104 on
time.
the bar.
What we've seen historically
Alicia, you're on
is
deck.
there'll be
Becky, you're in the
lifters
hole.
who come out of nowhere being incredibly strong, but what they haven't built over time is they haven't built the mental resistance. So if something goes wrong, they have a harder time sticking with it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know that they.
Inside for Abby.
If Abby would have
Not quite there on that
completed this
third,
lift,
just
that at least the head ref would have given it to her, because she'd have some downward motion already right as
Yeah.
she came up off of her chest.
Alicia's up next.
So anyway, as I was saying,
Becky's on
one
deck.
thing about powerlifting is it's not just a physical game,
Is 3
it's a
out.
mental game.
Oh, 100%.
You have to be patient. You have to be aware that things are going to probably go wrong. You might have some minor injuries, some minor setbacks. You might stall out on your training, and people, if they don't get instant results, sometimes will drop off, even if they're incredible. So powerlifting is not just a physical sport. It is very much a mental strength sport as well.
Good lift there for Alicia.
Becky Jensen's our next lifter.
All right, we got Rebecca Jensen here, 126 pounds.
Becky Jensen, 126. That lift is good for a starter.
All right, good lift there for Becky Jensen. We got Emmy Naron coming up next
Emmy's the next lifter.
in the 12 to 13 age division.
And so as a youth, you're actually able to super chip this stuff if you're setting a state record.
Emmy Naren's the lifter. 129
So
on the
at
bar.
state level events, you're typically not allowed to chip a record, unless of course you are a youth, which then we're a little bit more lenient on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, not quite there for today, but
Not
We'll
quite
have
there
be
on
able
that
to hit
third
it next
attempt for
time.
Emmy. Doak is up next. State record attempt for him.
all right, 141 pounds here for Doak. This is a state record attempt for him as well.
Doak Parker, state record attempt is good. That's going to bring up Susan Long with another state record attempt. Jess Rosario.
All right, we got
deck.
Susan Long coming out next. 70
Reese, you're in the
kilograms
hole.
or
Alexis, you're
154
3 out.
pounds.
Claire 4 out. Jenny 5. Last 6 bench presses of flight A. Last 6 bench
Six
presses
benches
of
of
flight A.
flight A, baby. Let's do this.
Let's go. All right, Jess, let's go.
Let's go, Jess Rosario. 72.5 kilos here.
Darn, I don't think it, no.
Not
Not
there
quite
on
there
that
today.
attempt for Jess, and that's going to bring up Reese Erickson at 77.5 kilos. It's 170 pounds. Alexis is on deck. Claire's in the hole.
All right, we got Reese coming out here next. 170 pounds.
Flight A.
All right, so Reese, another 5 kilo jump.
I
Also
think
very-
that looked better than her second
Good
attempt,
there for
honestly.
Reese.
That was
very
good.
much so.
170 is good. 3 white lights. Alexis is up next at 176. Claire's on deck. Jenny's in the hole.
All right, we got Alexis coming out here next. 176 pounds. Come on, Alexis, stick with it. That was nice.
Good job fighting through that transition and sticking point.
2 to 1.
Two to
Good
one.
look for Alexis Shen at 80 kilos.
Getting called
Claire
for
Harris is
a,
up next.
A
Butt foul.
yeah, booty foul.
Missed this on her second.
a booty foul.
Jenny's on deck. Last 2 benchers of flight A.
All right, flight A is wrapping up in the last 2 bench pressers. Claire
We
Harris
will roll
doing
right into flight
97.5.
B, so get ready in the bullpen over there, fellas.
All right, let's go, Claire. Very soft touch on the chest. There we go. Much better than her second attempt. Retaking
Much,
it there.
much cleaner.
Claire Harris at 214. Good lift. Last lifter of the flight for
All
bench,
right.
Jenny Vitt.
Jenny Vitt, another 5 kilo jump to
Going for
115 kilos.
253 on this third attempt.
253.53.
As we start flight B after Jenny, it'll be Artrail, Hudson, and Joseph getting us started.
All right, let's go, Jen. Self lift off here.
Good self handoff.
Oh, yeah, she pressed back. Like, it kind of
Not
started to
quite there
drift
on
over
that
her head.
third.
Elbows flared just a little
Yeah.
bit, and especially when you have a wider grip.
Bench.
the faster that your elbows flare, the harder it is to get that. But that was still a great second attempt for
100%.
242 pounds.
Third attempt.
Remember after
Oh, sorry, yeah, she got the
242,
242, yeah.
platform reset once we
So
get
that
the
still
deadlift
adds
bar on
a
there,
good
or
amount to the
that
total so
lifts that
far.
up?
All right, we're going to be moving on to Archfield Houston with 65 kilos on the bar.
All right, 143 pounds here for Artriel.
There we go. 3 white lights. It's a good lift for our trail. We've got Hudson Smith up next. Joseph's on deck. Oren's in the hole. Isaiah is 3 out. They were just making sure we're paying attention.
All right, switching lifters out here. We got Hudson, 143 pounds.
The order is Hudson, Joseph, Oren, and Isaiah. Good lift.
All right, good lift there for Hudson.
Oren's on deck. Isaiah's.
All right, Joseph Roberts here. 14 to 15 age division here. Great looking opener there.
Joseph's list is good.
All right, we got Oren coming out next. 187 pounds.
Kilos. Isaiah's on deck. Bo Jensen's in the hole. Austin's 3 out. Brandon Johnson, you're 4 out. Oren is the lifter.
I'm loving all these top touch benches today. Very pretty.
Good lift for
Great looking opener there.
Isaiah's up next. Bo Jensen,
All right, we got Isaiah coming up next. 203 pounds here.
Jason 4 out. Thomas 5.
All right, let's go, Isaiah.
Isaiah Bierce at 92.5 kilos. Lift is good.
All right, Jackson Bo Jensen here, 95 kilo opener, 209 pounds. Great looking opener there.
Time world champ Jackson Bo Jensen at 95 kilos. Austin's up next at 95 kilos. Brandon's on deck. Jason's in the hole. Thomas is 3 out. Emil is 4 out.
All right, Austin Van Buskirk here. This is 209 pounds. So he kind of waited there to take the bar off the thing. It is important as a lifter to communicate when you want a handoff
Yeah.
to that handoff person.
If you don't,
Austin,
They're gonna
do
assume
my
you don't want
bites.
one.
Yeah. don't
And
assume
then it's
that
also important if you're picky on your handoff, you communicate like your cues on that handoff every time you go. I've done handoffs for meet once, and they assume that you know it for the second flight. And I'm telling you, not everybody's gonna remember. Speaking from experience, I don't remember what everybody's gonna do. So every time you come out there for each bench, you communicate how
Just
you want
tell
that
me.
handoff.
Listen, there are 15 people that I'm watching, and if I'm giving 6 handoffs,
Right.
7 handoffs,
Right.
I'm not going to remember yours specifically.
No.
No offense.
No
Unless I
offense.
know you on a very deep and personal level, and I've given you hundreds of handoffs.
95.
Like, I know my husband's handoff.
Johnson on his
I know my
opener.
wife's
Good
handoff.
lift.
I know most of the.
Jason's up next. Thomas is on deck. And he has
Actually, I
the
can't
ball.
say that
Three
anymore.
out.
Some people just take a breath in and they want you to give the handoff, and some people have a very meticulous count off.
They're like, it needs to be 3, 2. When I say 2, I'm going to breathe in. When I breathe in, I want you to lift off 10%. And then once I breathe out, I want you to give me 20% off. Push it towards the
Brian,
chest
if
6
you're going to be
inches.
that picky, I think you should learn how to do self handoffs.
Good lift for Jason.
Yep. Yeah, it was pretty quick. Yeah. I saw
No lift 2-1 on that one for Emil. That's going to bring up Nate.
All right, we've got Nate coming out here next with his opener, 117.5. This is 259 pounds.
Yeah, because I mean, you're not gonna make it home until after midnight. You're not gonna get relaxed until after 12:30, 1 o'clock. What time did you get up? Because that would have been noon to like 5:30 at best. Hey, I'm.
Nate's lift was good. That was at 117.
264 pounds here for
Cole's the
Cole.
lifter now. David is on deck. Miles is in the hole. These are our last 3 openers for Flight B.
I mean, all right, good
Good
lift.
lift there for
And
Cole.
what Cole did is
That's a good
he's
one.
actually a head up bencher, so as he
David
comes
put
down,
next.
he's
Miles
trying to
is on
maintain
deck.
tension by lifting his neck, and then on the way up, he pushes his neck into the pad, pressing up.
I do think that some lifters with that do that. I think the head comes up naturally, but I think some people do it and they actually lose tension.
It's so
It's a fine line.
It's more of a joke to say that it maintains tension. For some people it does, some people it doesn't.
Right.
But
So-
there are lifters, older lifters from the past, who are like, if you don't lift your head up, you don't have proper tension in your bench. So you would see a lot of older generation lifters trying to keep tension, if you can see my quotation marks,
Yeah.
by lifting their neck and walking the
David
bar.
Brown at 308 pounds. 2-1, no lift on that lift.
All right. 2-1, no lift there for Brian. My guess is booty came off based on the yellow flag.
Miles Milton's a lifter, also going for 308 pounds. Looking at a slight beat.
All right, Miles here, 308 pounds.
There we go, Miles.
Great looking opener there for Miles. 308 pounds is nothing to scoff at as a teenager here. Miles has done several of our meets though. We got Archery all coming out next with his second attempt here. We are on second attempt bench presses starting at 154 pounds. We have started weigh-ins for our session 2 lifters in the back here.
Equipment check, weigh-ins.
I
and-
believe it is all male lifters this afternoon.
Correct. So this
Yeah.
morning was all women, and I believe teen to lightweight men-ish.
Yeah. Okay.
Good opener for Trail Houston.
So a lot of testosterone going to be flowing in this room
Lots
this
of
afternoon.
testosterone.
All right, Hudson's doing 154 pounds here for his
Hudson's the
second
lifter.
attempt.
Joseph's on deck. Oren's in the hole. Isaiah's 3 out. Bo, you're 4 out. Brandon, you're 5 out. Good lift for Hudson. Joseph Roberts, our next lifter. Bars loaded at 72.5 kilos. Oren, you're on deck. Isaiah, you're in the hole.
All right, we got Joseph coming out
Brandon,
here.
3 out.
Next, 159 pounds.
Good lift for Joseph Roberts. Oren Humphrey's up next.
All right, Oren coming out here, 198 pounds in the bar. Great looking second attempt, plenty of room for his third attempt there. Isaiah's coming out next, 220 pounds. Super narrow grip there, but good patience waiting for the start command. Man, some long arms there for Isaiah. But I bet his deadlift's going to be great because his range of motion is going to be like significantly less than it is on bench. All right, Jackson Bo Jensen here, 100 kilos for his second. 220 pounds here.
As well. Brandon's on deck. Austin's in the hole. Jason's 3 out. Thomas is 4 out.
Good looking self handoff there. Quick to the chest. Quick off the chest. That looks good. Plenty of room to
Good
play
lift
there for a
Bo,
third.
220.
I think the ultimate goal for a lot of these younger teenage lifters is to just have fun and do well. Try and go 9 for 9, I think, and then just kind of grow on what they did with their last meet.
Honestly, trying to get better and better meet over meet should be the goal of a powerlifter. Even
100%.
if your total's not better, you know, maybe your control's better, how you got to that total. Maybe you feel better.
All right, Brandon Johnson here, 220 pounds. Man, these second attempts are looking good.
Good lift for Brandon at 100 kilos. Austin's up next at 105. That's 231 pounds. Jason's on deck.
All right, Austin here, 231 pounds here for Austin. Good lift there. We got Jason French coming out next, 237.
Let's go, Jason French.
237 pounds here for Jason.
Good lift for Jason. Thomas is up next. He's going for 115 kilos on this bench. That's 253. Emil's on deck. Holes in the hole.
All right, 253 pounds here for Thomas Noonan.
It's 5 out. Last 6 benches of round 2.
Once we get done with third attempt bench, we'll be moving on to deadlift. There'll be a 10-minute break. We'll get the platform transitioned from having a rack on it to not having a rack on it.
Oh man, he shook his head, but I really think he might have had a little bit more grind left in there.
Thomas, we got one more chance to run it
His
back.
left
Emil
arm
up
started
next.
to waver up and down.
Cole, you're on deck.
I think that was
Nate
the right call.
is 2 out. David 3, Miles 4.
See, his coach thinks that he could have grinded that too, and he was like, "No, I couldn't have grinded that. Never could." All right, 259 pounds here for Emil. Textbook.
Good lift for Emil.
Jumped 7.5 kilos and got the
Cole is
lift.
up next at 130. Nate, you're on deck. David from the hole. Miles.
All right, we got Cole coming out here, 286 pounds.
Nice light bench press right there. Nice second attempt.
Oh.
Really smooth on that.
Cole Cheney at 130 kilos. That lift is good for 286 pounds. Nate's our next lifter.
All right, 130 keys here, 286 pounds.
In the hole.
We have
Last 3 benches.
3 more bench presses of second attempts here. Oh man.
Not quite through the
Not quite there.
for Nate. If he slows that down and stops a little quicker on the pause, he may get a little quicker command there. David's our next lifter at 140 kilos. Miles is on deck.
All right, 300 pounds here. 308 pounds. Apologies here for David Brown.
Start back at the top of the line.
I believe he might have had a glute val on his opener. Retaking his opener here is his second attempt. Very tight to his chest. I mean, that looked pretty good from my angle here. Let's see what the judges say. 2 to 1, good lift.
Miles is our next lifter. Last lifter of the round, and then we start round 3.
We got Miles here. Miles is lifting 325 pounds. Great looking second attempt there for Miles.
Back to the start of the flight with Hudson Smith, 75 kilos on the bar.
Hudson Smith at 165. Lift is good.
All right. Good lift there for Hudson. Artrial coming out next, 76 pounds.
Is up next. Joseph is on deck. Warren is in the hole. Isaiah is 3 out. Bo Jensen 4.
Finally a grind here from Artrial. Come on, lock it out. Come on, stick with it. Oh, man, he's really trying to get that arm up. Oh, man. Oh, so his right foot moved too just now.
Quite the fight.
Yeah.
One not quite good on his state attempt. Artrial goes 2 for 3 on his bench.
Man, he tried really hard.
Joseph's up next at 82.5 kilos. Warren's on deck. Isaiah's in the hole. Bo Jensen's 3 out. Brandon's 4 out.
All right, we got Joseph Roberts here, 181 pounds. $10-kilo jump here as well.
Good lift for Joseph. Warren is our next lifter.
Bar is
Isaiah's
loaded
on
for
deck.
Oren.
Bo Jensen, you're in the hole. Brandon, you're 3 out. Austin, 4 out. Jason, 5. Thomas, 6. Warren Humphrey with a nice little
Lots left on the platform there. That was good. All right, we got Isaiah coming out here, 225 pounds.
You'll notice we use the same rack for bench press that we use for squat. We just change the height of the racks that we use and drop a bench into it. And these things we call face savers. This is called a combo rack.
All right, we got Isaiah Beers here, 102.5 kilograms, which is 225 pounds. If you aren't using kilo plates, that is 245s on a barbell, which is a kind of a fun milestone, in my opinion.
Very fun
Ooh,
milestone.
come on. All right, let's see what the judges say here. That was a fight. Sometimes a fight gets you red lights, unfortunately.
What they probably called on that, guys, is once the bar starts going up, it can't go down. And he had a little bit of a wobble side to side on that bar.
All
And if
right,
it went
Jackson
up and down like
Bochinson
that,
here,
then they're gonna call it.
225 pounds. This is a state record attempt here.
If the bar is going up and it stops and then goes up, that's going to be okay. The judges just have to agree with that. Bo Jensen state record attempt at 225 pounds here, 102.5 kilos.
Good looking third there for Jackson.
Brandon Johnson up next, 105 kilos on the bar. 231.
Brandon Johnson's up next.
All right, 231
Austin,
pounds
you're on deck.
here.
Jason, you're in the hole. Thomas, you're 3 out. Emil, you're 4 out. Nate, you're 5 out.
Easy.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Austin's up next.
Call that an easy bake oven right there.
237 pounds. Jason, you're on deck. Thomas, you're in the hole. Emil, you're 3 out.
All right, this is 237 pounds for Austin.
Good
Those-
grind on that.
Yeah, the tricep
Good
kicked in
lift
real
for
nicely
Austin.
and
3
nice and
wide
fast
wides.
for him.
Jason's up next at 112 and a half.
All right, we got Jason French here, 112.5 kilograms. This is 248 pounds.
Come on, finish out.
Stick with it, Jason. Come on.
Right
Oh,
on
right
the
there.
edge for Jason French. It doesn't get much closer.
I'm on the edge.
I know it's January, but I swear I saw a mosquito drop on that bar. Oh, such a close miss. Thomas
All right, Thomas Noonan here, 253 pounds.
Emil, you're on deck. Nate, you're in the hole. Cole, you're 3 out. David, 4. Miles, 5.
All right, so Thomas misses on his second attempt. He's coming back for it on his third.
All right, let's go, Thomas. Good save there by the spotters and loaders.
Emil up next.
Real soft touch there. Nice grind.
Decided to take a nap in the middle of it. Stopped there for a second, made us worry, and then finished out strong.
Right?
All right, Nate up next with 130 kilos back on the bar. This was a 12-kilo jump between his first and the second attempt. He had to stay. He decided to stay there. We'll see how this one goes.
See if he can use the power of the hair. I feel like he's got like Thor hair.
Let's
He got
see
it.
what
Let's
the
see if there
judges
was
say.
downward motion at all. No, good lift.
Good lift.
That was a good one. It looked like there might have been a small amount of downward motion on his right hand, just minute. But
Maybe. I didn't really see any, but we got Cole coming out here, 297 pounds. We have 3 more third attempt bench presses here of the first session. And then we'll be moving on to deadlifts.
all right, the rack height is staying the same, adding a 10 kilo to the side, taking us to 145 kilos on the bar.
David Brown, it is a American record.
All right, this is an American record attempt. Ah, darn. Not
there.
quite.
Not quite there. He's got a lot
I mean,
of
that's a
big
great-
benches in his future. Nice job, David.
As a team, that's a huge bench press.
That is a big bench press. All right, 152.5
Miles is our
here
next
from
lifter.
Miles.
He is the last lifter of the flight. Right when Miles is done, we will reset things for deadlift, set the 10-minute clock.
336 pounds here.
Good self hand off right there.
Miles Milton with a state record press of 300.
Good lift there for Miles.
Good.
That's good. Very well. Therapy
All right, we'll see you guys in about
dumbbell area,
10 to 12
training
minutes.
people all day,
And then we'll be
helping
starting
you get through your
deadlifts.
meet. Feel free to talk to him whether you're a lifter today or not. They're here. is now loaded for Susan Kennedy.
Bar is loaded for Susan Kennedy.
Julie is on
57.5
deck.
kilos
Abby
on the
is in
bar,
hole.
followed by
Susan
Julie,
Long is 3
Abby,
out.
Susan,
Sloan is
Sloan,
4
and
out.
Rebecca. All right, Julie coming with 80 kilos on the bar. Lift is good for Julie. Abby Fry up next, 92.5 kilos on the bar. Boom. Abby up with 92.5 kilos on the bar.
Lots of sumo pullers already today.
Got to get that sumo in.
Great looking opener there for Susan.
Speedy opener for Susan Long. We like that.
All right, Sloan White up next, 97.5 kilos on the bar. 214.95 pounds for the youth lifter out of Muscle Lodge.
And the lift
Three white
is
lights,
good.
Lift is good.
All right, Rebecca,
Becky
great
Jensen,
job.
White lights.
Emmy up next,
Emmy's
102.5
up
kilos
next
on the
at
bar.
225.
You know what they say, the
Jenna
meat
Choke
doesn't
on
start
deck, Reese
until
in
the
hole.
bar
Toby,
hits the
you're 3
platform.
out. Alicia, you're 4
And it's
out.
going to hit the platform twice today.
At least twice.
Well, I mean, at 2 different times today.
Well, 2 different times, but I mean, if you figure
Well,
that there's
deadlifting
60...
is not even noon yet, Brian.
I know. Honestly,
Good
deadlift
lift.
is the one set that tends to go a little bit faster.
100%.
There's no
Maybe
rack
a
height
little
to
bit
adjust.
fluid for the lifters in session 1. When we're done, we might have to roll right into session 2, and if we have to do that very quickly, then we will do awards for session 1 during intermission right after session 2 squat. Okay? Jenna opens up at
Good lift there for Jenna.
231, and that's a good
Very
lift.
good. Reese Erickson up next with 110 kilos on the bar.
Brian, have you talked about the lovely tool that lifters can choose to use on deadlift that they don't typically use on other lifts?
I have not.
Oh, so what you guys might notice is that lifters use baby powder on their thighs and their legs to essentially create or reduce friction between your thigh and the bar when you're deadlifting. I'm a big fan of baby powder myself. It just makes things so much easier that it doesn't stick. I will say one of the cool things that's allowed now that wasn't allowed, just like 6 months ago, is SBD's made a panted singlet, and you don't have to wear deadlift socks, I believe, anymore. The rule has just been modified where you don't have to wear deadlift socks if you wear the pant
Correct.
singlet.
Yes. That is that is something that we were talking about last meet, actually. There were a few athletes wearing the ankle-length singlet, and we were not entirely sure. All right, judges say 3 white lights lift is good. Alicia Kellogg up next.
Good. 3 white lights for Alicia
Or
Kellogg.
Jess is up
Jess
next
is up next. Alexis is on deck.
with
Claire is in the hole.
122.5
Jenny is
kilos on the
3
bar.
out. For
All
Jen,
right,
lifted
good
dead.
lift. Alexis Shane up next, 160 kilos on the bar. Next up will be Claire Harris, and then Jenny
Alexis
Vitt.
is up next. She's got 2. Claire's on deck. Jenny's in the hole.
£352 here for Alexis. Wow.
That's
Good lift for Alexis. That's 3
Super
white
speedy.
lights. Claire's up next. 165 kilos on the bar for Claire Harris.
Done. This person has not shown up. 12, 15. We're going to get ready for that one drug test.
all right. Claire Harris with 165.
Solid looking opener.
Very cool.
Great looking conventional,
Good
might I
opener
add.
for Claire Harris at 165. 3 white lights. Jenny is our next lifter, 172.5 kilos. 380 going on the bar here for Jenny Vitt.
All right, bars loaded here for Jen. Opening up at a strong 380 pounds here.
Jenny
Good
Vitt
looking
opening up at
opener right
380.
there.
That's a good lift. That'll take us to round 2, starting off with Susan Kennedy, Julie Vandal, Abby.
All right, we got Susan coming out here, 126 pounds.
Susan missed this on her first attempt, so she'll be going for it on her second. Kept the weight there. She's got this.
All right, let's get behind Susan here.
Susan Kennedy.
There we go. Three
There
white
we go.
lights.
Good looking lift there for her.
Julie's up next.
All right, Julie Vandal up
192.
next. 87.5 kilos on the bar, followed by Abby Fry, Sloan White, and Susan Long.
All right. 192 pounds here for Julie.
On the bar for Julie Vandal. Julie with 192 and the lift is
So,
good.
Truth, there's only one command in deadlift.
Yep.
Only just down. Quite literally, that's all it is. It's down. You don't have to have a start command. You can just walk up to the bar and start it. As long as the bar is loaded and ready.
Loaded and ready. As long as platform is ready, you're good to go.
Correct. And so the judges are really looking for shoulders and to be back behind the bar,
Next lift,
um,
214
in line with their hips. Hips are locked out, and knees are locked out as well. Your feet cannot move prior to the down command, but once the lifter receives the down command, you might see some lifters actually turn their toes in if they're a sumo puller. That is allowed. You're just not allowed to take a step.
Yeah. Like, I mean, if you take a step after your dead, like in the middle of your deadlift
Abby
down,
Fry at 214.
I'll actually kind of be
That's
impressed.
the attempt is good.
Good lift there for Abby.
Sloan's up next at 225. Susan Long's on deck. Rebecca.
And
Becky,
you
you're
usually
in the
see
hole.
lifters that turn their
Jenna Joe,
toes
you're
in.
3 out. Emmy
and, like,
4,
the-
Reese 5.
Middleweight men's, I would say, because they've got such long limbs. And if they're sumo pullers, you don't really see that as a conventional puller. Loving the chicken socks here from Sloan. I think that's a pretty standard thing for Sloan. She's done a few of our meets, and I feel like she wears the chicken socks most of the time. I recognize the blue singlet, but the chicken socks, I feel like.
Reese 4 out.
Chicken socks are adorable. My wife has some chicken socks, goes with her black singlet.
Oh.
This is a state record attempt for Susan.
Clean looking attempt there. 225
crisp.
pounds. So still using that Alico power bar here. It is quite literally one of the stiffest bars to deadlift on. Sometimes if you've tuned into some of our previous meets where we use a deadlift bar, you can see the give that the bar has or the whip that the deadlift bar might have. This one's not really going to give you much of that at all. You might see that later today as we get to 600 pounds. Otherwise, it doesn't bend much before that.
105
No,
on the
not
bar
really.
here. State record attempt for Becky. Money.
Very
Good
nice
lift
right there for
Jensen.
Becky.
Jenna Joe's up
Jenna
next.
Joe up next with
Emmy's on
112.5
deck.
kilos on the bar.
Reese is in the hole. Doak is 3 out. Alicia's 4 out. Jess 5. Alexis 6. 8 deadlifts left in flight A. Round 2.
All right, settling in for sumo.
Jenna Joe at 248.
Good lift
is
there for
good.
her.
Emmy's the lifter.
Really good deadlift on there from Emmy.
Merriam with a state record, and it is good.
All right. Reese Erickson,
Reese is up next
117.5
at
kilos on the
259
bar.
for Reese. Doak is on deck. Alicia's in the hole. Jess is 3 out. Alexis 4, Claire 5, Jenny 6.
All right, this is 259 pounds here for Reese. Great looking second attempt here for her.
Good lift. Doak is our next lifter.
267 pounds here for Doak.
Alicia's on deck. Jess is in the hole.
Seen a lot of good polls today from the youth lifters, from like the younger crowd. It's always fun to see like up and coming athletes.
Well, and you see a lot more personality, maybe because people aren't as stressed out about deadlifts whenever they're competing. So it's more fun to watch too. A little unlock and lock.
67, lift is good.
But good to go there. And there's a cloud of chalk and baby powder in this room right now.
Chalk, baby powder, and smoke. Got them fog machines.
I was just like, wow, where'd all that chalk come from?
Jess is on deck. Alexis in the hole. Claire 3 out. Jenny 4.
Good
All right,
lift
good
there.
lift. Jess Rosario up next, 127.5 kilos on the bar, followed by Alexis Shin, Claire Harris, and rounding out second attempts with Jean Vitt. Jenny Vitt.
Jess Rosario.
A little bit of a stall out right there on the lockout portion of it.
281.
3 white lights, lift is good. All right. Alexis doing 172.5 kilos. This is a 12.5 kilo jump between her first and her second attempt.
Man, this is a healthy jump.
It is a healthy song right here.
This is, I believe, a Tyler Easter egg in the playlist here. Yeah, it is a Brian Easter egg.
Jim Bob, easy 3 white lights.
Great looking deadlift there. We got Clara Harris coming out here, 391 pounds.
Claire is up next at 3. Claire Harris, 391 on this attempt.
All right, let's go, Claire. 177.5 kilos. This is 391 pounds. This should set her up for a pretty fun third attempt.
Yeah, this will be a really exciting third attempt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well over 400 third.
Mm-hmm.
Smoke that second attempt at 391. Good lift for Claire. Jennings up next.
All right, Jenny Vitt jumped 12.5 kilos from 172.5 to 185. This will be fun to see.
Let's go, Jenny. 185 on the bar. That's 407 pounds.
All right, let's go, Jenny here. 407-pound deadlift.
Smooth attempt for Jenny. Judges say 3 white lights.
20 left in the tank for her.
And that's going to bring us to the top of the lineup for round 3 of deadlifts for Flight A, starting with Susan Kennedy, Julie Vandal, Abby Fry,
203 pounds here for Julie. We are moving on to third attempt deadlifts here.
Let's go, Julie Vandal.
All right, let's go, Julie.
That was almost
My
faster
goodness.
than her second attempt.
Yeah.
So easiest attempt of the day at 204 for Julie Vandal. We weren't crying about 176 feeling terrible a week ago.
All right, Abby Fry coming out here, 225 pounds.
Prize the next lifter.
All right, Abby Fry, 102.5 kilos on the bar.
Sloan is on deck. Becky's in the hole. Susan,
All right,
3 out.
Abby
Jenna
coming
Jo
in.
is 4 out. Reese is 5 out. Let's go, Abby. State record attempt.
On fight for it, Abby. Very nice. Push the top of the knee and just skyrocketed. Judges say 3 white lights and lift is good. Sloan White up next. 107.5 kilos on the bar. This was a 5 kilo jump every attempt.
Sorry, I played. £3 in July.
All right, we got 237 here for Sloan.
Sloan White, 107.5 kilos. Good lift and a state record. Becky's up next. Becky gets this lift, and she's a nationals qualifier for the first time. No pressure. State record attempt for Becky Jensen at 237.
All right,
All
let's
right,
go.
Becky.
Qualified for nationals and a 9 for 9 day.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
Got exactly what you needed to qualify for that.
State record attempt here for Susan.
All
All
right.
right, Susan Long up next. 107.5 kilos on the bar.
Emmy Merriam, Alicia Kellogg.
Being patient off the floor. There we go.
Yes.
Nice looking there for Susan.
7 pounds for Susan.
3 white lights. Lift is good.
Record for Susan Long.
All right, let's go, Jenna.
Ooh, very nice.
Jenna
Nice
Jensen
grip.
at 117.5, and the lift is good.
All right, let's go, Emmy. Nice work.
Sticks the landing. Good lift for Emmy Nairn and a state record. Alicia's up next. Jess is on deck. Alexis is in the hole. Jenny is 3 out.
All right, we got Alicia coming out here. 130 kilograms, 286 pounds.
Okay, Alicia. 130 kilos. Not lift this good.
All right, bars loaded here for Jess. 286 pounds. Oh, so she's got the grind, but she's already had some downward motion here.
No quitting that one.
She knew she didn't have it, but she kept going anyway.
I'll count it.
All right, Alexis here, 402 pounds here for.
We host the Special Olympics Area Championships on May 9th. If you have anybody close to you that qualifies for that, then make sure they get in touch with the local SOMO office, and we'll get them involved. That meet has gone from 3 lifters to 73 in the last 3 years. Let's go, Alexis.
All right, let's go, Alexis here.
All right. Good deadlift right here. Let's go.
Let's go, Alexis. All the way to the top.
Stick with. Oh no, darn.
Not quite there. So
Great
one thing
day
that
for Alexis. Give her a round of
either
applause.
strength wasn't there, or the other thing
Good
that
job
you
today,
might have noticed
Alexis.
is
Jenny is up
the
next.
bar was a little
Right.
unbalanced
Right,
off the ground, which can on sumo really throw people off.
right.
So that equal extension of the bar all the way up makes it a lot easier and actually a little bit safer as well. If you get a little bit of that wibble wobble in there, could pull you one side, could cause you to windmill, could cause you to fly away. All right,
All right, we got
This is-
Jenny coming out here, 418 pounds.
correct. This is a pretty big deadlift right here.
All right, let's go, Jenny.
Very clean.
Good lift for her. Oh, I don't think you could see it, but she little heel click off the side. That was kind of fun.
Yes.
It was adorable.
State record coming up here for Claire.
A little bit of bounce, a little bit of a hop.
All right, 424 pounds here for Claire.
All right, this is actually the heaviest women's deadlift of the day.
And it is
The
the
final.
last women's deadlift of the day.
Correct.
All right, let's go, Claire.
Claire Harris here, closing it out at 424 pounds.
Oh, man. Man, that is quite the grind, but unfortunately, good effort there.
Great day for you. In the business, we call that a sticking point. And that's going to send us.
Good
into
grind on that
flight
one, but
being
not
deadlift.
quite there. All right, moving on to flight
Right now,
two,
we're at 12,
flight
19.
B,
That means we're probably
whatever we're
gonna
gonna call
finish
it.
This round
Keep,
right at
we
one,
call different names.
which means we will roll
We are on
to
deadlift
session, and we will do awards. and
1.2.
between squat
Ooh,
and bench
deadlift
for session
2B,
What?
2B, 1A, 2B,
Starting
3C.
things off and
4D.
flight B, it's going to be
No, we have
Hudson
2
Smith,
sessions, so you
Joseph
have 1.
Roberts,
So your session number.
Artrell,
And then 2
Warren,
is your second
Miles.
flight.
Yeah, but sometimes at different meets, we've also called different sessions having the same flight order. So it's they've gone.
So we could call it
flight C.
1B.
You can call it 1B. Who knows? Salud. There was a squeak on the microphone. I don't know if you heard it.
I muted my mic, thankfully, for
Mine
y'all to
wasn't.
miss that. But you still probably got it on Brian's. Lots of shock and baby powder in the air. All right, we got Hudson coming out here. Open up our Flight B deadlifts with 264 pounds.
There we go, Hudson. 120 kilos at 260.
Good looking opener there for Hudson.
Joseph's up next. Our Trell is on deck. Orange in the hole. Miles is 3 out.
All right, we got Joseph here, 308 pounds. Very wide conventional stance.
Joseph Roberts at 308 pounds.
Good lift there. All right, we have Artriel coming out here, 308 pounds.
Isaiah's 3 out. David's 4 out.
Lift is waiting on the judges here.
Good lift for our Trell. Warren's up next. Miles on deck. Isaiah's in the hole. David, you're 3 out. Jason, 4 out.
All right, we got Orrin Humphrey coming out here, 341 pounds. Good lift there for Orrin. All right, we got Miles coming out here next, 363 pounds on the bar. Speedy opener there for Miles. No question there. That lift is good.
Easy 3 wide opener. Isaiah's up next at 170 kilos. That's 374. David Brown's on deck. Jason's in the hole. Brandon's 3 out. Bo Jensen, you're 4 out.
All right, 374 pounds here for Isaiah.
Good lift.
Good lift there for Isaiah. We got David coming out here, 385 pounds.
Opening up at 385. Jason's on deck. Brandon's in the hole. Bo Jensen's 3 out. Nate's 4 out. Emil 5.
Great looking opener there for David. All right, Jason French is up next, 402 pounds.
David's lift is good, and we've got Jason French up now at 402. Brandon is on deck. Bo Jensen, you're 3 out. Sorry, you're in the hole. Nate, you're 3 out. Emil, you're 4 out. Cole, you're 5 out.
Good looking there.
Brandon's up next. 185 on the bar.
All right, we got Brandon coming out next here 407 pounds.
All right, so quick deadlift opener change here. He got it in before the time, just didn't get input into the system quickly. He's going from 185 to 190.
Warm-ups must have been moving good.
Yeah, very interesting.
We're good to go now for Brandon Johnson. He had changed his opener weight. We got that right there now. 418 on the bar. Bo Jensen's on deck. Nate, you're 2 out. Emil, 3 out.
All right, so lifters do have to wear deadlift socks if they're not wearing the panted singlet.
The super singlet.
That protects not only them from the bar, but it protects the bar from them.
Yeah, and honestly,
Because shins can get beat up quite a bit.
very
with
easily
deadlift,
get some good blood on there.
especially sumo pullers, I feel like.
Yeah, I've been yelled at in a gym before for accidentally getting blood on a bar. Guy saw me deadlifting, came over, saw there was blood on the bar, got mad at me, even though he wasn't using the bar, and I was about to clean it off. It's a very fun day.
We do clean the bar if we notice blood on the bar.
Dang, Jackson.
Speedy deadlift there on that opener.
Great looking opener there for Jackson.
Nate's up next at 197.5. That's 435. Emil's on deck. Cole is.
Lifters are also required to wear shoes. But what you'll see a lot of lifters wear are a very minimal shoe. You'll see anywhere from like a Notorious.
Oh, is this
shoe
old
to
OG
these are-
Sabos?
These are Sabo deadlift
Ooh,
shoes. You
I
are
missed
correct,
those.
Brian. I feel like those are kind of making a comeback.
I hope
You-
so,
I
because
feel
they're
like
iconic.
You see them at least once every meet, I feel like.
They're, to me, like the iconic deadlift slipper, like shoe right there. They're amazing.
I think they make a squat shoe now too, don't they?
I think so. But when I first started, I couldn't afford Sabo deadlifts. All that I did was I had Adidas Sambas were my deadlift shoes.
You're 3 out. These are the last 4 deadlifts. For
You also see
openers
people
for
like
Fight
the
B.
old-fashioned Chucks, but like you can see Ian in the middle there with his blue Notorious slippers. You see a lot of slippers. We talked about the Ivanka's shoe earlier. I have some Tier barefoot shoes actually. I really enjoy because they tie.
I do just Vans. Just
That's
Vans.
like the old-fashioned. Like I used to lift in Converse.
Yeah.
But my toes like the wiggle room now.
So for me, I can't. Converse is a lot more narrow,
Yes.
whereas I actually just size up in Vans. So like
Oh.
my length is like an 8, maybe. My width is like an 8.5. So I just do like 8.5 to 9. And
Oh,
call it
okay.
good.
All
And then I
right.
leave it super loose.
That's fair.
Like I'll tighten it around my ankle, but not my foot.
That's fair.
I just
All
couldn't
right.
get behind slippers. It felt weird. Slippers to me, I just couldn't get. I tried them a couple times and they just weren't for me.
529 pounds here for Cole.
Very nice. All right, Austin, followed by Thomas, and then moving back to Hudson for second attempts.
We got some bands coming out here on the platform.
See, there you go. Granted, I did ankle high bands, not
Makes
boat
sense.
shoe vans.
That makes sense.
Mine had "Oh yeah" on the back, and they were
Oh,
rainbow
yeah.
colored. That was Macho Man Randy Savage.
That was a solid looking opener there for Austin. All right, Thomas Noonan coming out here, 540 pounds on the bar. The only piece of equipment you are allowed to adjust, as you can see in front of you, is your belt
Correct.
while you're on the platform. You can adjust wrist straps off the platform. You can adjust whatever you want off the platform. But on the platform, once you've walked onto it, all you are allowed to adjust is your belt. You can touch your wrist straps, but you cannot put on or take off, or
Can't do knee sleeves.
you can't remove your thumb wraps, your thumb holes from your wrist straps either on the platform. Just your belt. So you'll see a lot of sumo lifters, especially with a lever belt,
Yep.
put their lever on once they get set up at the top of their deadlift for the at the platform. So
Get that swish and flick.
it's part of their setup. We're on to second attempts here, starting at 270 pounds for Hudson.
All right. We'll be doing session 2 at 1:10, not 1 o'clock.
Good looking second attempt there for Hudson. We got Joseph coming out next, 314 pounds.
314.
All right. Oh.
Oh, nope, not going to be there. Had some locking and unlocking of his knees on the way up.
No lift for Joseph. Some down and up motion on the sides of that bar. Artrell is up next at 319. Warren is on deck. Miles is in the hole. Isaiah is 3 out.
All right, bars loaded here for our trail. This is 319 pounds. Wow.
One thing that he might want to watch out for in the future as he gets better is he got right below his knees and then he started to open up his hands. He's
Yeah.
stuck with the bar, but there are some judges who will notice that and give a warning if you open your hands too early because you don't have control of the bar all the way down.
I don't know. Some people don't even wrap their thumbs, though.
Yeah, but his hands, it
Yeah.
wasn't an unwrap, it was an open.
All right, Orrin Humphrey here. Solid looking second attempt there at 374 pounds. All right, 385 pounds here coming up from Miles.
Warren's lift is good, and Miles Milton's coming up at 175 kilos. That's 385 pounds. Isaiah's on deck. David's in the hole. Jason, you're 3 out. Bo, you're 4 out. Brandon, you're 5 out.
Lots of room for a third attempt there.
A lot of room.
All right, we got Isaiah
Good
coming
lift
up
there
next,
for Miles.
396
Isaiah's up
pounds.
next. $396 on the bar for Isaiah. Good lift for Isaiah Bierce.
David Brown
David's
up
our
next,
next lifter at
190 kilos
418.
on the bar.
All right, let's go, David. Very easy second attempt there. All right, 424 pounds here for Jason.
Mason French at 424. That lift is good.
He's pretty happy with it. Sounds like it's going to be an exciting call for his third.
200 kilos, that's 440 pounds. Brandon is on deck. Nate's in the hole. Emil is 3 out. Austin is 4 out. Cole 5.
All right, we got Jackson Bo Jensen coming up next. 440 pounds. Friendly reminder that a lot of these
Let's go.
are
Bo Jensen,
kids lifting
440
here
on the
at
bar.
14, 15, 16, 17 age range here. Lifting a lot of weight.
Yeah, looking.
They're strong kids.
Good lift. Brandon's up next at 205 kilos.
All right. This is 451 pounds here for Brandon.
451 here for Brandon Johnson. Good lift. Nate is our next lifter at 212 and a half. Emil's on deck. Austin's in the hole.
All right, we got Emil coming out here. 485 pounds.
$220 on the bar here. That's 485 pounds for Emil. Good lift. Austin's the next lifter. He's going for 551. Cole's on deck. Thomas is in the hole.
Nice chunky deadlift right here at 250 kilos for an 82.5 lifter.
That's 18 to 19 age range, by the way.
Super chunky. Young.
Young, yeah.
Getting that chunky deadlift right there.
551 pounds.
Hefty.
Austin at 551. Lift is good.
Man, if I closed my eyes while it lifted like that, I'd be dizzy.
Cole,
Like,
the
I'd
next
probably
lifter.
fall.
Thomas
Like,
is
not
on
dizzy,
deck.
but I would bobble. All right, let's go, Cole. 567 pounds, state record attempt. Good looking
Very
state there
nice.
for Cole.
Thomas Noonan up next, 260 kilos on the bar.
$260 kilos for Thomas. We got 573 here.
All right, man, I don't know if you can hear it, but we are after Thomas here. He is one of the Kansas State chairs. £573. Walker. I think we have the entirety of French University over here in our right ears cheering for him. They're all pretty excited.
That's a nice way to wrap up second attempt deadlifts. We got Hudson Smith starting us off next.
All right, third attempt
Round three of
starting up.
deadlifts here in flight B. And starting with 281 on the bar.
All right, third attempt deadlifts here, and then we'll be moving on.
Oren is 4 miles 5. Not far off, though.
Strength is there. Just got to fix that technique a little bit.
41. Oren's on deck. Isaiah's in.
All right, we got Oren coming out here. 396 pounds on the bar. Oh, man. Unfortunately, didn't have the grip to hold on to that bar today. No lift there for Oren. Overall, he had a great day, though. We got Isaiah coming up here, 418 pounds.
3 out. Bo Jensen, you're 4 out. Good lift for Isaiah.
Good lift for
190, that's
Isaiah.
418.
All
Miles up
right,
next,
Miles
same weight.
followed by Jason, David, then
Jason's
Jackson,
on
Bo
deck.
Jensen.
David's in the hole. Jackson, Bo Jensen's 3 out. Brandon, you're 4 out.
I think that's the most I've seen him try today. Good looking
lift for
third
Miles
attempt deadlift
Felton.
for Miles.
Jason's up next at 440.
All right, bars loaded here for Jason. 440 pounds. Yeah, no.
Not- Couldn't quite break the floor.
So one thing to note is there is a difference between whenever you're pulling the tension on the bar and kind of like, I don't want to say jerking the bar, but you're like getting set and getting hyped up. when you've initiated the lift, which you could tell that's what he had done.
Yeah.
That's when, if you can't break the floor, then you have to show that you've initiated the lift. Great looking third there for David.
Good
446
day for David
pounds.
Brown. Jackson Bo Jensen's coming up next. He's going for a state record of 457 pounds and a PR.
All right, Jackson's up here, 457 pounds on the bar.
Jackson Bo.
Very nice.
457 pounds.
State record there for.
This good.
All right, we got Brandon Johnson coming up next, 473 pounds.
Brandon Johnson, 473 on the bar here. Nate's on deck and Meals in the hole. Austin's 3 out.
There's half a wrapper in there. Half a wrapper. It's yours. It was different. Like the aftertaste was
Let's go, Brandon.
interesting.
Nice
Nice
acceleration
work.
through that lift for Brandon Johnson. Good luck. Great day for Brandon. Nate's up next at 222.5 kilos. That's 490.
Come on, fight for it.
Full at 220.
Wow. Oh, man. That grip, man.
So close. 512 attempt, not quite. Austin's up next, going for 500.
So we talked about baby powder, but something else that people use on deadlift, that they use on the other lifts too, that helps with their grip,
Is chalk.
is chalk. But unfortunately, a lot of times, I mean, it's not hot today. Obviously, it is like, what, 3 degrees outside, 17. But a lot of times people have a lot of, like, edema in their fingers when it comes to deadlifts. But after they've already, like, especially with this 2-hour weigh-in, if they did cut any weight, then they probably loaded a bunch of water and salt in that 2 hours
And their hands
to
get
recomp,
flooded.
and then your hands get full of fluid, and so that impacts your grip.
Very nice.
Pounds. Lift is good. Who wants to see Thomas lift 600 pounds today?
All right, we got a 600-pound pull
All
here
right.
to end session 1.
A lot of good things going on for Thomas today. Let's add one.
It's about to get loud up in this place.
It's about to get loud.
Let's go, Thomas.
All right, let's go, Thomas. Very meticulous about that sumo setup. Looks like he appears to be a hook gripper, probably. Lots of thoughts. Oh, man, no.
All right, we'll be taking a 10-minute intermission between session 1 and session 2. Session 2 is on a separate live stream, so please join us there at 1:10 p.m., so about 20 minutes.
Yes.
We'll see you there.
Oh.